Good morning, friends. It's great to be back with you today. Last time we were together, we talked a little bit about that voice in our heads. And we also talked about how we know that we know when truth is speaking to us. So today I invite you to join me on a journey into the heart of mindful transformation, a journey that begins with a simple yet profound truth we all know. Our thoughts shape our reality. The way we think colors our emotions, guides our choices, and ultimately determines the quality of our lives. To illustrate this point, let's look at a scientific study that demonstrates just how our reality changes when we lock into a collective thought. On the day Princess Diana died, a groundbreaking metaphysical event occurred in a Princeton University basement. It was in January 1997. Researchers at Princeton activated a network of devices called random event generators, REGs, nicknamed eggs, in collaboration with scientists across the US and Europe. These machines perform a single repetitive task 24/7. They flip electronic coins, heads or tails, zeros or ones, and over time, the data should always result in a 50-50 split, because that is the law of the universe, chaos and entropy. But on August 31st, 1997, something completely unexpected happened. From the moment the planet heard Diana died through the conclusion of her funeral, millions of souls around the world were locked into a single intention of grief and shock. At that exact moment, the machines, incapable of emotion, stopped behaving randomly. The data organized itself. The chaos turned into order. In 1998, after seeing those results, the researchers launched the Global Consciousness Project, placing 65 regs around the world. Since Diana's funeral, the GCP has analyzed over 500 major global events, building a body of evidence demonstrating that humanity's collective mind is a physical force. These machines didn't only flatline for tragedies like the 9/11 attacks, where they reacted hours before the first plane hit, or the 1998 embassy bombings in Africa. They also spiked during moments of intense global focus, like the Y2K transition, massive synchronized meditations, and the funerals of public figures. From the terror of the 1999 Turkey earthquake to the celebration of New Year's Eve, the data consistently shows that when humanity locks into a single emotional frequency, one intention, whether fear, compassion, or celebration, randomness dies and order takes over. Your thoughts, most importantly, your directed intentions, your invocations matter, scientifically and spiritually. So now let's get a little more personal. Imagine waking up on a Monday morning, already anxious about the day ahead. If we let our automatic thoughts run wild, the thoughts like, I'll never get it all done today, our anxiety grows. But if we pause and intentionally shift our thinking to, I can handle today's challenges one step at a time, our mood and actions change. We move from anxiety to calm, from overwhelm to focus. Maybe you're a parent or a teacher and you hear your child say, I'm not good at math. Well, instead of agreeing or dismissing them, the parent or teacher encourages them by saying, you're learning and improving every day. Let's tackle this together. So the child's confidence grows. Or perhaps you're recovering from an illness and feel discouraged, thinking, I'll never get better. But by focusing on small improvements like, I walked a little bit further today, hope and healing are nurtured. What might change for us personally if we became more intentional with our thinking? Unity teaches us, and science supports it, that our thoughts are not passive. They are creative forces that shape every aspect of our lives. Too often we carry inherited beliefs, stories we picked up in childhood or from past experiences. Maybe you grew up believing, I'm not creative because of early criticism. If left unexamined, this belief limits your willingness to try new things. But when you question and reframe it like, creativity is something I can nurture, you open yourself to new experiences and discover gifts you never knew you had. Or perhaps you were raised hearing money is the root of all evil, so you struggle with financial success. By reframing this thought to money is a tool for good, you might gradually use your financial resources to help others or causes you believe in. Throughout the Bible, we see verse after verse reminding us of the importance of our thoughts and why we need to continually renew our minds. One verse that comes to mind is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Changing our thinking to be more intentional begins with asking ourselves some questions. Why does it matter what I am thinking? What beliefs am I carrying that may no longer serve my highest good? Am I willing to examine and transform them? This spiritual discipline is not about suppressing or denying our thoughts. It's about alignment. It's the loving practice of noticing what we are thinking and choosing again when our thoughts no longer serve us. For example, you might notice a recurring thought, I'm always behind. Instead of forcing it away, gently acknowledge it and ask, is this true? Does it help me? Then choose a new thought. I am making progress at my own pace. This shift can bring relief and motivation. Another example to help align your thoughts is when you catch yourself thinking, I'm not worthy. Instead of pushing it away, pause and reflect. Then tell yourself, everyone has value, including me, and begin to treat yourself with kindness. I'm going to suggest something to practice. This week, try practicing mindful awareness. Each time you notice a thought that doesn't serve your highest good, gently choose a new one that aligns with your values and the truth of who you truly are. In this process of mindful transformation, we are not left without tools. Through affirmation, prayer, and mindful awareness, we renew our minds and open ourselves to our divine wisdom. Before a stressful meeting, you might repeat the affirmation, I am calm and capable. Take a moment for silent prayer, asking for guidance. During the meeting, notice any anxious thoughts and return to your affirmation to stay grounded and present. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming, notice your breath and affirm, I am patient and safe. Create a personal affirmation during life's challenges that reflects your highest good. Repeat it daily and notice the shifts in your thinking and emotional state. As we practice aligning our thoughts with truth, we do experience greater peace, clarity, and empowerment. We begin to live from our spiritual center, not from habit or fear. Imagine a colleague criticizes your work. Instead of reacting defensively, you pause, breathe, and respond from your spiritual center. You say something like, thank you for your feedback. I'll consider your suggestions. This response fosters both respect and growth, not conflict. When a loved one snaps at you, instead of snapping back, you pause and say, is something bothering you? This can open a space for understanding. Or when facing a disappointment, you choose to respond with hope and resilience, inspiring others by your example. Mindful transformation is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing journey. By becoming conscious stewards of our inner life, practicing spiritual discipline, and using tools like affirmation and prayer, we continuously align our thoughts with truth and open ourselves to greater wisdom and joy. Over time, you'll notice you're less reactive, more patient, and more open to new possibilities. When challenges arise, you use your tools to realign your thoughts and maintain your sense of peace. So here's an action plan you can use if you like. Set aside 5 minutes each morning for mindful reflection, affirmation, and prayer to renew your mind. Over time, you'll notice greater patience and joy. When plans fall through, instead of frustration, you affirm, new opportunities will rise, and you remain open to change. At the end of each day, Reflect on moments of peace, clarity, and empowerment, celebrating your successes. My friends, let's remember that transformation begins within. The way we think colors our emotions, guides our choices, and ultimately determines the quality of our lives. By tending to our thoughts with love and intention, we open ourselves to a life of greater peace, clarity, and joy. May we each become conscious stewards of our inner life, living more intentionally and joyfully each day. Namaste.